In geometrical optics, some important terms are related with the spherical mirror. The first term is your center of curvature, radius of curvature, pole, the principal axis, aperture, principal focus of a concave mirror, focal length of a concave mirror, focal length of a convex mirror. Now we have to define these important terms related with the spherical mirror, that is pole. Pole is nothing but the central point of the mirror. As you can see in the figure, the pole is denoted as capital P and P is the central point on the mirror. The next term is your principal axis. It is the line which is passing through the pole and the center of curvature of the mirror. Whereas the center of curvature of the mirror is denoted as C, as you can see in the figure. The center of curvature, it is the center of the hollow sphere of glass of which the mirror is the part, and it is denoted by the letter capital C. The next word is your radius of curvature. The distance between the center of curvature, that is C, and pole of a spherical mirror is called the radius of curvature. The distance between center of curvature and pole is nothing but your radius of curvature, which is denoted by R, as you can see in the figure. Aperture of the mirror. The portion of a mirror from which the reflection of light takes place. Aperture in this diagram is shown by M1, M2, which is dotted line, is nothing but your aperture of the concave mirror. Focal length. The distance from the pole to the focal point is called the focal length. The principal focus is the point on the principal axis where reflected rays meet. The distance from the pole to the focus is called the focal length, which is denoted by F. The sign conventions related with the mirror. The object is always placed on the left of the mirror and light from the object falls from the left to the right. All distances parallel to the principal axis are measured from the pole. All distances measured to the right of the pole are taken as positive. All distances measured to the left of the pole are taken as negative. The height measured upwards perpendicular to the principal axis is taken as positive. The height measured downwards perpendicular to the principal axis is taken as negative. The relation between focal length and radius of curvature of a spherical mirror. Let us consider this diagram. In this diagram, your P stands for the pole of a spherical mirror and C stands for the center of curvature, where F is nothing but your principal focus and MD is perpendicular to the principal axis, that is passing through the center of curvature and pole. Let C be the center of curvature of the concave mirror. Consider a ray which is parallel to the principal axis striking to the mirror at M. Then CM will be perpendicular to the mirror at M. In triangle MDC, tan theta is nothing but MD divided by CD. If tan theta is very small angle, then we can write it as theta is equals to MD divided by CD. Again we have to consider a one more triangle, that is MDF. Tan 2 theta is equals to MD divided by FD. Again, if this tan 2 theta is very small, then we can write it as 2 theta is equals to MD divided by FD. From the equation number 1, that is theta is equals to MD divided by CD, and from the equation 2, that is 2 theta is equals to MD divided by FD, we get 2 multiply with MD divided by CD is equals to MD divided by FD. Then MD get cancel out. You get 2 multiply with 1 divided by CD is equals to 1 divided by FD. If M is very close to P, then D coincides or overlap with P. In that case, we can write it as 2 multiply with 1 divided by CP is equals to 1 divided by FP. According to the sign convention, here all the distances are measured from the pole along the principal axis, but the incident light is opposite in direction. That's why we have written 2 multiply with 1 divided by minus r, where minus r is nothing but your radius of curvature, which is measured opposite to the incident light. That's why it is taken as minus, is equals to 1 divided by minus f, where f is nothing but your focal length, and it is taken as negative because the incident light is opposite to the measured direction from the pole. Left hand side minus and right hand side minus get cancel out. You get 2 divided by r is equals to 1 divided by f. When you simplify it, you get f is equals to r by 2, where f stands for the focal length and r stands for the radius of curvature of a spherical mirror. So this is the relation between focal length and radius of curvature of a spherical mirror. The applications of the spherical mirror, where the spherical mirrors are used. The spherical mirror are again divided into two categories, that is concave mirror and convex mirror. The concave mirrors are commonly used in the shaving mirrors, because when we see our face in the concave mirror, then an enlarged and erect image is formed, which helps in smooth shaving. The concave mirror is also used in the reflector in searchlights, headlight of the vehicles, solar cookers, in torches and in table lamps. Now we have to take the lens maker's formula derivation. In this figure, it shows a geometry of image formation by a convex lens. The image formation can be in terms of two steps. In the first step, the first refracting surface, that is ABC, forms the image I' on the principal axis of the object O, applying equation of the curved surface of the spherical mirror to the first interface, that is first surface of the mirror, that is ABC, that is taken as S1 surface. Nu2 over to V minus Nu1 over to U is equals to Nu2 minus Nu1 divided by R, where Nu2 and Nu1 is the refractive index of the air medium and refractive index of the lens. where V stands for the image distance, U stands for the object distance, where R stands for the radius of curvature of the surface ABC. Nu2 divided by where V stands for the image distance, that is taken as Pi dash. In lenses, all distances are measured from the optical center, that is denoted as P. Here I have taken plus Pi dash because the image distance are measured in the direction of the light. So that's why it is taken as plus. Minus nu1 divided by minus of PO, where PO stands for the object distance and it is taken as negative because the object distance are measured along the principal axis through the optical center, and this distance is measured opposite to the direction of incident light. That's why it is taken as minus, is equals to nu2 minus nu1 divided by where R is nothing but radius of curvature of the first surface, that is ABC, and it is also taken as positive because the radius of curvature of the first surface is measured along the direction of incident light. Nu2 divided by Pi dash, when the minus minus multiply with each other, you get plus nu1 divided by Po is equals to nu2 minus nu1 divided by Pc1. That is your equation number 1. For the second surface ADB, that is S2, for this surface your I dash acts as the virtual object and I is the final image of the object, that is O. For this surface our equation is nu1 divided by V minus nu2 divided by U is equals to nu1 minus nu2 divided by R, where V, U and R are the image distance, object distance and radius of curvature of the surface ADB. Nu1 divided by where V is nothing but your image distance for the second surface, that is ADB, is written as Pi. Here the Pi is taken as positive because all distances are measured from the optical center in the case of lens, and this image distance, this is taken as positive because the image distance and the direction of the light both are in the same direction. That's why it is taken as positive Pi minus nu2 divided by plus Pi dash. Here again the positive Pi dash is taken because the object distance is also in the same direction of the incident light, is equals to nu1 minus nu2 whole divided by minus R. Here minus R is taken as because for the second surface ADB the radius of curvature is opposite to the direction of the incident light. That's why it is taken as minus R. Nu1 divided by Pi minus nu2 divided by Pi dash is equals to, when you rearrange nu1 nu2 terms, you get, take minus common from the nu2 and nu1 terms, you get minus of in the bracket nu2 minus nu1 whole divided by minus R. Here minus minus get cancel out, you get nu1 divided by Pi minus nu2 divided by pi dash is equals to nu2 minus nu1 whole divided by, where r is the radius of curvature of a second surface, that is ADB, is written as PC2. It is your equation number 2. Adding equation 1 and 2, you get nu2 divided by pi dash plus nu1 divided by po plus nu1 divided by pi minus nu2 divided by pi dash is equals to nu2 minus nu1 whole divided by pc1 plus nu2 minus nu1 whole divided by pc2. In the above equation, nu2 divided by pi dash term get cancelled out. You get nu1 divided by po plus nu1 divided by pi is equals to nu2 minus nu1 divided by pc1 plus nu2 minus nu1 whole divided by pc2. From this equation, take nu1 common term from the LHS side and nu2 minus nu1 is common, which is taken out from the right hand side. Then your equation becomes nu1 in the bracket 1 divided by po plus 1 divided by pi is equals to nu2 minus nu1 in the bracket 1 divided by pc1 plus 1 divided by pc2. Take this nu1 from the left hand side to the right hand side. Then you get 1 divided by po plus 1 divided by pi is equals to nu2 minus nu1 divided by nu1 in the bracket 1 divided by pc1 plus 1 divided by pc2, where po is nothing but your object distance, which is measured opposite to the direction of incident light. That's why it is taken as 1 divided by minus u plus 1 divided by positive v, because pi is nothing but your final image distance, which is measured along the direction of the light, is equals to nu2 minus nu1 whole divided by nu1 in the bracket, where pc1 is the radius of curvature of the first surface, which is measured along the direction of light. It is taken as positive of r1 plus 1 divided by, where pc2 is the radius of curvature of the second surface, which is measured opposite to the direction of light. It is taken as minus r2. When you simplify this equation, you get minus of 1 by u plus 1 by v is equals to nu2 divided by nu1 minus 1 in the bracket 1 divided by r1 minus 1 divided by r2. Simplify above equation or rearrange the above terms. You get 1 by v minus 1 by u is equals to nu2 divided by nu1 can be written as nu of 2 1 minus 1 in the bracket 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, where 1 by v minus 1 by u is nothing but your 1 by f is equals to nu 2 1 minus 1 multiply with 1 divided by r1 minus 1 divided by r2, where 1 by f is nothing but your power of the lens, which is denoted as P is equals to 1 by f is equals to nu 2 1 minus 1 multiply with 1 divided by r1 minus 1 divided by r2, where P stands for the power of the lens, f stands for the focal length of the lens, nu 2 1 is nothing but the refractive index of the lens with respect to the air medium, r1 and r2 are the radius of curvature of the first surface and second surface. So this is the formula for the lens maker's formula. Equivalent focal length of two lenses which are in contact. Let L1 and L2 are the two thin lenses which are placed in contact. The formation of the final image I of the object O can be considered in two steps. In the first step, the refraction takes place by the lens L1 alone. In the absence of the lens L2, L1 produces the real image I1 of the object O. According to the lens formula, we have 1 by f is equals to 1 by v minus 1 by u, where f is the focal length of the lens L1, where v and u are the image distance and object distance. 1 by f1, where f1 is the focal length of the lens L1, is equals to 1 divided by plus pi1 minus 1 divided by minus of po, where plus pi1 is taken because in the lens all distances are measured from the optical center, that is denoted as p, and this image distance is in the direction of the light. That's why it is taken as positive or plus pi1, where minus of po is taken because this object distance is measured opposite to the direction of light. That's why it is taken as negative. 1 by f1 is equals to 1 divided by pi1, where minus minus multiply with each other, you get plus 1 divided by po. Call this equation as equation number 1. In the second step, the refraction is taken by the lens L2 alone. For the L2 lens, I1 behaves like a virtual object and I is your real image or final image of the object O. In the absence of L1, L2 produces the real image where I1 acts as the virtual object for the lens L2. For this lens, we have written as 1 by f2, where f2 is the focal length of the L2 lens, is equals to 1 divided by plus pi minus 1 divided by plus pi1. Here the plus pi and positive of pi1 is taken because according to the sign convention, in this case your object distance and image distance both are along the direction of light. That's why it is taken as positive. Call this as equation number 2. Adding equation 1 and 2, we get 1 divided by f1 plus 1 divided by f2 is equals to 1 divided by pi1 plus 1 divided by po plus 1 divided by pi minus 1 divided by pi1. Here minus 1 divided by pi1 plus 1 divided by pi1 get cancelled out. You get 1 divided by f1 plus 1 divided by f2 is equals to 1 divided by po plus 1 divided by pi. 1 divided by f1 plus 1 divided by f2 is equals to, where po is nothing but your object distance and it is measured opposite to the direction of light. That's why it is taken as minus of u. Pi is your real image or final image of the object O, which is measured along the direction of light. That's why it is taken as positive of V. 1 divided by f1 plus 1 divided by f2 is equals to, when you rearrange the above terms, you get 1 divided by v minus 1 divided by u, where 1 by v minus 1 by u is your length formula. It is replaced with 1 by f. Then 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 is equals to 1 by f. When you simplify above equation, you get f is equals to f1 multiply with f2 whole divided by f1 plus f2. Hence, the focal length of the combined system is given by f is equals to f1 multiply with f2 whole divided by f1 plus f2, where f1, f2 is the focal length of the individual lengths L1 and L2. What happens to the effective focal length of two lenses which are separated by a distance, that is a? Let L1 and L2 be two thin lenses separated by a distance a. If the focal length of the two lenses are f1 and f2 respectively, then the equivalent focal length of this combination, that is f, is given by 1 divided by f is equals to 1 divided by f1 plus 1 divided by f2 minus of a divided by f1 multiply with f2.